Hey guys, so I'm gonna teach you how to make original Steel brainrot models. Well, they're not original, they're just so they're your own models, so you don't get copyrighted in your game. So, for example, today we're gonna be making Tung 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 Sahur. So yeah, let's get started. First thing you wanna do, you wanna get a reference photo. I'm using this one, and you wanna put in a cube like this. Resize it, make it a little bigger. Go into this little material preview mode up here. Click on it. Hold on, let it load. And then add a new material. Dude, my computer's so slow. Okay. Go click on this yellow dot, image texture, open. And then wherever you have your photo saved, go there. This one. Okay. So if something like this happens to your material, or it's kind of buggy, you just want to select the face that you want to see the full thing on. Go to UV editing. Oh, you gotta go material mode here too. And you want to rotate it the way you want. And get the full picture in there, like that. So now we have that. We can rotate it a little bit. Now we can start to, make the actual model. So, hold on, let me just make this shorter. Okay, first thing we see is a squarish body. So, we're going to want to add a cube. And we're going to kind of make it look like it fits onto the thing. So if we bring this just a little bit forward, hold on, we can size it up and whatnot, like this. And then there's little studded areas on the ends. So what you can actually do to do that is simpler modes. You want to Shift D, scale it down, and then SZ. Maybe scale it up a little bit, like this. And with that, now you have a pretty good base for your tung tung. So you can join those once you're done with that. Now our next job is going to be the arms. So we can see that they're mainly all one armish, but I would like to add a forearm, so mine's a little bit more original, and I don't get sued. So I can do this, make a cube like this, and then do this. This will be our, hold on, let me move this back. This will be our forearm. So now that we have that, maybe we can move it out a little bit. Then we can size it down. And again, we mainly want to use this reference photo for stuff. So we kind of want to follow the decent arm shape. Once we have that, we can join those together. Maybe you can make it just a little bit longer, like that. And now for these hands, we kind of have, as you can see, Lego-ish type hands, where they kind of go like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, hold on. Give me a second. Okay, my mouse is, okay, there we go. You want to add another cube, but this time put it over here. And then over here, you want to we got to go in edit mode. Then we see this thing called loop cut. And this thing called loop cut, if you select it, you'll see this little area right here, right? And all you want to do is, if you look over back of the shape, it kind of goes up 3/4 of the way. So if we put it around right here, we can see that's if we, take this out or whatnot, it looks like the hand. But we still have to add fingers. So we can go back into loop cut and this time make it the vertical selection. And you want to add one area, distance, one area. Oh shoot, hold on. Distance, and yeah. So now we have 3 little areas. And if we extrude those out, they kind of look like fingers-ish, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of rushing. I could have done a better job, but anyways, that. Maybe let's put these in just a little bit. Okay, yeah, now they look more even. They look pretty good, I'd say. And then now we have the little thumb at the end. So loop cut again. It's somewhere. It could, yeah. So, and then go here. A little area for right here. And then you want to E to extrude it out. Sorry. Guys, by the way, I don't know if I told you this, but you want to, whenever you're making a loop cut and you're taking a face out, you want to click E on your keyboard. So, for example, this is me just moving it out. That does not look good. You want to click E on your keyboard and then drag your mouse. That's how you get those selections. And then you can also just, if you don't like them, select the faces, make them a little bit bigger on the sides and stuff. Like this. Okay, I'd say that's a pretty relatively well-looking hand. And if we go here, they look kind of the same, which is what we want. Now, once you have that, we can, here, let's hide this cube so we can see what we're doing. We can put it to where it needs to be on the model, like this. It's maybe a little big. Do this. Now, once we have that, we can join the hand to the arm, like that. And actually, no. Control Z. Don't do that. What we want to do first is we want to select both of these, Shift D. And now we want to rotate them like this. Bring them over here. And you may notice that that this hand right here is inverted, right? The thumb's on the wrong side. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this, go here. Oh shoot, hold on. Oh, first, actually no. What you wanna do? You see this? You wanna put this back into the original hand, like this. That looks pretty normal. And then there's also another little area over here. So you can just go over here and do what you did with the first one the first time. And there you go, it's fixed now. And then you can also mess with the edges of these faces and stuff. Like this. Now you can join the hand and the arms together. So now we have a relatively okay body for our tung. Actually, I'm going to move these arms back just a little bit. That. Okay. Now that we have that, we can start making the legs. It's a very similar structure to the arms. So we can add just another cube, scale it on the Z axis, size it down. You can see it like this. Control J, join. Oh guys, if you don't know how to join, it's Control J. You just have to select 2 objects for it. So yeah, now Now we have one leg. Now we have to make the foot. So here, if I look at another model, you can see the feet is kind of a square, but then the little toes go out. So we can make a little bit similar to the hands. Make another cube. Put it over here. We want to kind of elongate it like this. Now that we have this, we can go in edit mode again. Actually, no. First, you want to make it a little bit skinnier. Then we can go in edit mode again. Go to loop cut. And again, make 3-ish little sections on the end right here. So, one. Now that we have that, we can take these and extrude. And if you want to add a little bit, here, let me actually make this shorter. It's a little too long down here. If you want to add even more, like extra little detail, you can make the toes a little bit longer than each other. So how it would look in real life, like this. So now that we have that, we can rotate it, the way of the foot, and put it on there, kind of. And actually, this leg is pretty short, so we can elongate that. Take this foot and put it here. Now, if we hide this, we can see a relatively good leg and foot. So we can join these together and duplicate it and put it right here on the other side. Once you have that, the toes are going to be inverted. You can just go back to it and mess with the faces like this. Now once you have that, we can start the face. So if you drag this, oh wait, no, actually, sorry. One more thing, the bat. The bat is really simple. I'll show you how to make it right now. All you gotta do, add a cube like this. And that's gonna be our little base. Do this, elongate it. This, scale it up, and then make it a little longer like this. Shorten it. And now we gotta maybe do this a little bit at the end. Hold on. Do this, stuff like that. Now you have a relatively okay bat. You can join them all together now. Maybe elongate it if you want, like that. And just attach it to the hand like this. Now it looks like he's grabbing onto it, which is what we want. That's good. Now we can focus on the face. As you can see, he has eyes with little, blurs right here. So, first thing we want to do, let's just model the face off of this and then move it onto the thing later. So you can go here, and we can see that the eyes look like this. There are cubes. We can do this. Maybe elongate it. And then next thing we want to do is we want to scale this down for the pupil. Take it out a little bit. hold on, it's better to see this way. Take it out a little bit. If we move those two over, we can, size down the people a little bit more however we want. Take it out a little bit. So, now we have a relative eye. Now just one more thing, this cube right here. Here, I'm just gonna make this one black so you guys can tell what is what. So now we have this, but now we still are missing that little glow. So we can take this original cube, do this to eye, and do this, and we can drag it out a little bit. And now we have an eye. So we can go over here and put that on our model right here, like this. And since this looks so great, all we gotta do is just position it, copy, paste it over here, and do this. Also, I'm gonna make these little areas more white so you can tell what is people. Actually, no. Scratch that. I'm just gonna make this base brown so you can tell what we're doing. Now, next thing you do, next thing you do is the eyebrows. You can see they're kind of like cube here, extended cube here, and then cube there. Really easy to make. This cube, we can go over here. Size it down. Elongate. Exactly like this. Join those. And now we have an eyebrow. Can move that over here. And it looks great. Now we can just copy and paste that over here. Now we have two eyes with eyebrows. And hold on. I think they look pretty good. So now we can actually add the main part, the nose. So if we, sorry, this color is bothering me. So yeah, this is our Toonting model so far. Looks pretty similar to this one. Now what we can do is we can start making the nose. So if we look at some example, the nose, I don't know if there really is an example, but oh yeah, you can kind of see it in here. It kind of is at a slant. So what we can do is we can add a, look this way, add a cube like this, and we can from here make it a little bit skinnier, copy and paste, scale it up a little bit, but make it a little bit shorter, and do that again. And then on this cube that we have right here, we're gonna make it, okay, so these are pretty long. We're gonna make these skinnier on this axis, like that. Over here, make it just you want. You can make those a little longer, like this. But once you like it, you can make them one unit and join them. Put it into the face a little bit more. We can make this. You can see it's relatively the same color as the body, but we can just make it a little darker for this sake right now. Just for visualization. Now we can make, you can see this tongue, he has like little cheeks and stuff, right? So, wait, pause. So what we can do for those cheeks is, this is like the most simple part of them all. Just add a cube and elongate it on the X just a little bit. Size it. And then just do this. Copy paste. Like that. And now if we join all these together, we can see that it is all a really good area, like the nose and stuff. Now the mouth, again, really easy. Just take an eyebrow, honestly, rotate it, and size it up, and put it here. And if we can join all these together, now we have a relatively... Oh shoot, hold on, give me a second. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. But anyways, now if you wanna, you don't have to do this, but you can just apply the same hexadecimal code to the rest of the... Hold on, it's lagging. Oh wait, guys, shoot, guys, sorry I messed up. We actually don't want to join these. Yeah, we can keep them separated like this. Just do not join these. Sorry, I messed up. If I messed you guys up, but I just realized that we can't do that. Just decolor it a little bit. So just do not join them though, because you'll see why later. But if you want to, we can apply the same hexadecimal code to the rest of the body. And we don't really need this anymore. But we have this, and that's all that we really need. So we can put it to the middle. And now comes one of the hardest parts, for me at least, which is rigging. I do not like this, because it might be pretty complex for some of you. But it's a small model, so it should be relatively easy. For purposes, you can go to this area called viewport shading up here. Just do that. You can see kind of everything. There's no color, but you can see the outlines a little bit later. Better. Okay, first thing you want to do, add an armature. Size it to the bottom. Oh, go here to data, viewport display, in front, and size it up like this so it covers the whole guy. Done. Now what you want to do, click on the top, hold E, and drag it down, and then drag it out for the forearm, and then the arm, and then the forearm, and then the hand. Delete this bone. Here, 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 and here. Delete this bone. Now from here we can rename with this F2. This with F2. We can name it torso. F2, arm right. Forearm right. Hand right. Right here, if you want to add this is optional, but if you want to have a bone, if you want to have control of the bone in your game, you can extrude the very end of the hand. Start from where the bat starts, and do this. We delete this bone and just drag it out so it fits, and then name this bat. So now we have that. We have the arms and the bat and whatever we need. Now we can go start the legs. So extrude this, and this. Delete this bone right here. This, and this. Oh shoot. And this. Now we have these. We just rename them with F2. Oh, I gotta delete that. Rename, so we can name right leg, right thigh, and then right foot. Same here. Left leg. So now that we have our whole thing rigged, if we try to, move the bone, move the little areas around in pose mode, nothing's gonna happen. That's because we need to join them with automatic weights. But before you do that, you can see if you just try to join everything we have right here, with the control P with automatic weights, it's not going to look too good. Like maybe if you move the torso, yeah, no, that doesn't even look good. See, there's a problem. That part doesn't even move, which we want it to move. The bat doesn't move this part does, but this part doesn't when told to. This leg drags part of the torso with it. As you can see, there's just like a lot of bugs, right? So what we want to do first, before we do anything, is I like to take away the little parts that would be distracted by it. So let's say these arms, the bat, the legs. Let's just drag them down here because we can start the torso first. And right now we can get everything in here. Eyes, everything. Hold on, I'm just going to look a little bit better. We can do all this, and now we can click this, Control P with automatic weights. And if we go pose mode, oh, that still is bugging. So hold on, guys. If that happens to you, all you gotta do is take everything else that we don't need, like these bones and stuff. Hold on, oh my god. Drag them down here. Same thing with the arms and the bat. Drag them down where they all are and stuff like that. So now no other bone should be distracted like this. He's just kind of a torso thing flying around. So we want to select everything in here. Again, just do this, Control P with automatic weights. Now this torso thing, and if it still is bugging like this, there is a fix. So you can see this thing is called torso. So we're going to go to object mode, select the thing that isn't working, go here where it says torso, and we want to go here, weight paint. And if it's red, that means it's good and it's moving with the bone. Because you can see it's black, which is not good, and we want it to move with the bone. So you can go here, make sure the weight is 1, and start painting it to make it red. Once you do that, and we can check it in pose mode. As you can see, everything works perfectly fine, There's no bugs. And it looks pretty good when it moves. Now we can start with the arms and stuff. So let's move these bones out here. And these arm, these arm things out right here. So from here we can zoom into this area. Here, select these two with this, Control P with automatic weights. And from here we can check how everything, okay, so we already found a bug. The bat is controlling part of the hand, which we don't want. And it's not controlling only part of the bat. So we can go to our bat object that we want. Click on bat. Oh, shoot. Here, click on bat. Weight paint. As you can see, it's black. We do not want that. We want it all red. And some parts also where they are green. I already erased it, but there's a green part right here. That's because it was getting kind of attached to the hand. So if you want to go to hand left, you can see it's green part because it's kind of sharing a point. So we want to do 0 weight and make it black so it doesn't, that hand does not affect the bat, because we only want the bat bone to affect the bat, if that makes any sense. And this bone right now is super distracting, so I'm just going to drag it out. I'll put it back later though. Weight paint. Okay, now that that's all black, we can go here, and if we go to the bat bone right here, we can see that part of our hand is being taken with it, which we do not want. So we can do this, all this stuff, to make it black and make sure it's not being taken by the bat. And go to hand left, and you want to now weight paint everything correctly. It's okay if it gets a little bit blue, we can fix that in a second, but we just want to make sure the hand is completely all red. Completely. If it's not, then it will bug and it will not look good. So yeah, as you can see, the part of this is orangish area. We do not want that, so hold on. And we can go kind of into the arm, if that makes any sense. And we can see that, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, this is the arm area. So it's orange and green, which you don't want. Make it weight 0 and just kind of click on the sides so they go black like that. Now if you zoom out, it's only the hand being affected. So now if we go back into our armature and we go to pose mode, we can see that the bat only affects the bat. You see if we move it, none of the hand gets moved, only the bat does. And if we move the hand bone, only the hand and the bat gets moved, since the bat bone is a parent of the hand, but only the hand gets moved, which is good and what we want. Actually, no, there's a bug. Actually, wait. No, there isn't. I was lying. Sorry. Okay, forearm left. This is where they get kind of buggy. So if we go to forearm left, and we can weight paint, you can see some of it's blue because this arm left is also taking over it. So what we want to do, fully weight paint the arm left like this. Shoot. So now that it's all red, which is what we want, we can go to the other arm and go back inside here and make it all black so it's not affected. Oh shoot. So we can do this so it's not affected at all. So now we have arm left and forearm left. They are both accordingly, weight painted. So if we go to our pose mode, we can see move the arm, everything moves, which is what we want to do. Move forearm, everything from the forearm down moves, which is good. Yeah, that looks good. Arm, hand, and then bat. Now that we've already done all of this, and this is all weight painted, we can bring it up to here. Well, we can at least move the bone up to here, and then the objects according to the bone. And now that we have them together, it's okay. Now that we have them all separately weight painted, it's fine. But you can't do them when they're close together like this or else it'll bug. So now if you go here, pose mode, see, none of the torso is moving, only the according bones. And then the torso moves with the arms, which is what we want though, because it's a parent. Now I'm gonna maybe speed up this next part because it's kind of the same thing, but just with different bones. So, and it actually turns out that everything was somehow perfectly weight painted. So sometimes you're lucky and that stuff doesn't happen. But right now I'm just gonna take everything here and move it up here. So now we have both of our arms ready. Now all we need to do is the legs, which are also very simple. Take one leg, do this. Actually, no, I'm going to move the legs a little bit farther apart so it doesn't clip onto the other leg. Like this. Now we can do this. Control P with automatic weights. From here, weight painting. Right foot, it's a little bit buggy. We can fix that. Black. And then, yeah, we already did it for the side. So now only that foot is right thigh. Oh, God, this is going to be so annoying. Okay, that's all accordingly weight painted. So we can move all these bones back to where they were originally. And same with the whole leg. Go here. Oh, wait, no, we haven't done this one yet, actually. So now if we go to the legs, everything working perfectly fine. Everything looks great. So now just this leg, same thing, so I'm just going to speed it up. Go here and move everything up. And now, if we go into pose mode and we select any of these bones, they are all going to work great and perfectly how they were supposed to. And we can go see also the texture if we go in this mode. And if you don't want to see the armature, just click this. But yeah, we can see this working fine. This armature working fine. Everything should be working perfectly good. Now, in part 2, since this video is already getting pretty long, on part 2 I'm going to show you guys how to animate it and put it in Roblox Studio. But yeah, I'll see you guys